Hello. Hello, my friends. Hello. God, it's so good to be back. And it's also a little surreal. I feel like it's been like a long time since the anniversary show, and it's not. It's been actually a little less than a month. It's an approximately monthly show. Why does it feel like it's like, I don't know. I was really looking forward to coming back. And it's just, I'm seeing all of you in the chat. This is just great. I could greet every single one of you separately. And thank you to the brand new channel members that are just signing up. Thanks so much for choosing to support this show. Things have changed in this past, few months. I created the Patreon probably, 6 months ago. And then I created the channel membership on YouTube, and it's like the response I got during the anniversary show was just like, I was so humbled. There were times that I was off camera and I was just sitting here just like, well, I won't say weeping because that's going a little too far, but I'll just say that I was really moved by the people who are choosing to, you're basically like, I've got to step up, and this is going to become like even more serious of a job for me than it has been, which is just, again, very humbling. No, I'm not going to get emotional right now at the start of the show. I'm not going to do that. But I will just say that, it's been awesome to see. And thank you. Thank you so much. Few words on the music that we were listening to as this show started. This guy hit me up like 2 days ago. And, I listened to this record and I'm just like, my God. So, let's talk a little bit about this. All right. So, Warren Walker, right? So, N Traverse is the brand new solo project of this guy, saxophonist, synthesist, composer, Warren Walker, Paris. He just released this on May 28, just like a few days ago. And, it's merging the world of modular synthesizers and music samples sent from musicians of his own galaxy. He traverses elements of electronic music, jazz, ambient, sound poems, dance music, and everything in between. Man, I love this record. And I can already tell that it's going to be like a regular rotation on my Bandcamp listening. So, man, thanks for what you do, Walker. Warren Walker. And I think that we're going to see him on the show, very probably. A word on the show is I am booked. Are you ready for this? Or the show is booked. I'm booking into January now. It's never been this far in advance booked out. And the shows are just going to be so good. I have like focus shows of like Indonesia. It's coming up in August. We're doing a focus show on the scene in Montreal. One on the scene North Coast Modular in Michigan. These are all just really little interesting pockets that have just great scenes. So we're doing like focus shows on like just artists from that area. Collaborating with people from those areas, curating these shows. And all the other regular monthly shows are all booked into January now. Crazy. So let's get right to it. We've got a lot to talk about. We have a very special guest coming up who I'm just so excited about what they're doing in their project. All right, let's get going. We got a lot to cover. It's like 5 segments. I'm just like, this is simple. I used to finish like a regular show and I was like exhausted and I'd take a nap. And after doing the anniversary show, I'm like, 5 segments? This is cake. We got this. All right, let's talk about Ben. All right. So, Ben Kiryati is going to start our show off, and he performs as Benki. He's coming to us from Israel. Ben is a techno producer, sound designer, lighting designer, and teacher. His musical journey started at the age of 13 when his parents bought him a guitar, but he eventually gravitated toward the more technical side of music making, which led him to study sound engineering, shifting into electronic music, and working with modular synths, which have become indispensable both live and in the studio. over the last 2 years, he's been focusing more on playing mostly improvised music, using different modular setups and helping others build their own synthesizers. And side note, he has a great series on YouTube, which is like a How I Play series, which, he's a teacher. It's just, it's great stuff. So here we go with Benki from Israel. All right, man. All
Hey,
right, man. Oh man, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Finally, it's great.
having me.
And I knew this would be the show opener. I mean, yeah, you get the boom going. Everyone's into it right away. That's great.
Yeah. I'm so happy everyone liked it.
Yeah. So you're joining us from Israel. Thank you so much. I know it's a little later over there. Thanks.
It's 11 o'clock
Yeah.
at night.
I usually start at 2, and for some of the longer away time zones, I know there's a better way I could say that, but so that's why I started today at 1. I'm just trying to, it's called Modular World. I gotta I gotta cater to all the time zones. So
Definitely. Thanks for taking that into account.
of course, of course. I mean, So I'm just reading all the comments. These people just loved your set. It's so great. All right, so we got a lot we could talk about, and you and I have had great chats. So let's get to it. Now, you were telling me that things are kind of loosening up there, and you're getting back out to playing live. In fact, you played last night.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Tell us about that.
Well, we are over with COVID. So
Over.
yeah, I mean, like they don't even check for, your if you're vaccinated or not. Like we're not even there yet. I mean, anymore.
People wearing
Uh,
masks.
mm, Only like in small spaces.
Hmm.
I don't know, like not in clubs or anything.
Wow,
Yeah. So
good for you.
yeah, it's crazy. So everything is open, and but international bookings are still closed. So there's been like this gap, this vacuum in which many new artists come into.
Mm,
Um, and so yeah, that's why new artists are seeing like this massive amount of gigs suddenly. So
that
it's
is
great
great. Yeah, that's great.
seeing people. Yeah, really cool.
So it's like you can kind of focus more on like the local underground scene there and less. Yeah.
Definitely, and people are extremely open here for new stuff. Um, I mean, I didn't think that playing with a modular synth would be like this interesting to people, but like everyone is really open, so it's nice to you know be around these people.
Yeah, yeah. So what made last night crazy? It's just people loving to get out and get into it.
Yeah, it's I think they're just looking um for fresh music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are kind of limited in what we can offer as artists in the local scene. I mean, you don't want all the parties to look the same.
Right.
So, and when you have like new people, new names, new parties, everyone is immediately very interested in like everyone comes to the party and see who's playing and all that. And yeah, they like the music, so I'm happy. That's all
That's
I can
so
say.
great. That's so great. I think that it'll probably be like that here too, with just like people so excited to get back out again that it's like we're just hungry for something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Um, what do you have coming up? You have releases and stuff going on.
Yeah, well, actually, I've during COVID, I had so much free time. Um, I have like 20 tracks that have not been released, which I plan to release independently as well as through labels. Um, I just like it, like to keep it like small and independent, just uploading it to Bandcamp
Yeah,
by
yeah.
myself. Um, but recently, I've been approached by his name is Israel. He's a Mexican guy. Um, he's from the Assassin Soldier label,
Mm-hmm.
Berlin in yeah in Germany somewhere.
Yeah, right.
And he really liked the music, and he has massive appreciation for making music with hardware and synths. Um, and he offered me to release some music in his label, which I actually really like. It's the vision of that label is the perfect mix, in my opinion, between hard, harder, darker techno and but still like musical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was really happy to like give him like, okay, take all my music, whatever you want.
You gave him 20 tracks?
No, I gave him like I offered him like a few of the ones that I would really like to give him.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I just like to keep like a few of them at least for to myself. I don't know, it's still too personal for me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it will they will be released eventually.
I'm glad that you brought up Bandcamp because I was talking with somebody yesterday. Their name will not be mentioned because, it was kind of private about Bandcamp and money and how they wanted to do it and whether they wanted to just give it away for free or whether they're not going to put it out on Bandcamp. And I think that it's a good point to be made. And this is what I kind of, encourage them to, whatever, is that like let people love you, right?
Exactly.
Let us love you and support you. I think that's the best way. Like obviously none of us are getting rich on Bandcamp, so I wouldn't say like do it for the money because that's not happening. But for those of us who love you and respect your artistry and want to support it, do it for that. Call it name your price. Sure, that's cool. I do name your price on all my stuff. And yeah, I rarely get somebody who wants to buy one of my albums for $1. You know, like, people want to say like, man, I love you and I love what you're doing. And I think
Yeah,
that's a
they
good relationship,
of course.
Sorry.
That's why I just decided to put out more music out
Yeah.
instead of keeping it in my computer, because everyone, like most of the people who hear it, DJs like it, my friends like it. So yeah, why
Mm-hmm.
should it stay on my computer? You know?
Right. Right. And it is a beautiful way to support because like I like Spotify just for kind of getting it out there, but we all know that there's no way to directly support somebody through listening to their music on Spotify. So this is like real grassroots kind of love way to show love and support your people. Yeah, it's enough said. I really like Bandcamp for just for that reason. Um, okay. Can you talk us through just a couple minutes of this massive patch?
Sure. Well, the video I sent you is divided into two tracks,
Yeah.
two patches.
Yeah.
That are meant to play like completely different things.
Yeah. 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 Thanks for doing that. That's a nice touch.
And yeah, the first part I was playing what I call the small system. If like anyone watches my YouTube channel, then there's like a season, what I call a season,
Yeah.
about that exact system. And back then I was playing the small system with a few additions from the big system. And that's when I realized I need to go back to the big system if I keep adding more things to the small system. Anyway, so now I'm back in the big system,
I
and I
understand. Yeah.
a whole new series of videos with the new big system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to let people know like how it's done and all that. And I also enjoy sharing it. So yeah, that's it. Um, the second part of the video is a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And I really enjoyed making it. I was using a mic, if you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to look for the fastest way of just having a pad sound underneath the music. And that was my way of doing it. I just used like a 57 into the Bifaco interface. Going into Monsoon, I fill the buffer with like 2 pitches or 3 pitches, and I freeze it. And
Simple.
then the position knob, I just go through the different
Yeah.
pitches.
I mean, what a simple, fantastic way to do that, Just
Yeah,
sing your own like drone pad. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and you can manipulate it with the texture.
Pitch.
On,
Yeah, anything. What a great idea. I gotta do that. Or I mean, Morphogene would work like that. Arbar would work like that. Yeah, Arbar would be nice to be able to see the pad. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't even know why I sold it, but I might get it eventually back.
What Arbar?
Yeah,
Yeah, Arbar is something I don't think I can let go. It's special. Plus, it's got that mic on it too. I don't know.
it's extremely immediate. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do here, like a
Right.
mic
Right.
running thing. Um,
Although, in fairness, the microphone on Arbar wouldn't be as clear and direct as you on a 57.
that's right.
I mean,
Also,
it's you know,
kind of hard to sing into your synth like that. So
right. You got all this sound in your room. I mean, it's like nice for certain fun experimental applications, but it's not. Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. See, I mean, you and I could just go and go. So I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for coming on, man.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching,
All right,
everyone.
Ben. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you.
Okay. Benki, my friends. Great guy. Okay, well, thanks for joining. New people logging in, joining since we started. You are watching Modular World. I think you could probably see that right there. My name is John O'Wells. I'm the creator and host of Modular World. I'm just really happy to have you here. You know what? I just want to roll on. We're just going to roll on. Okay. So coming up next is Anders Nilsson from Sweden. He performs as Per Barfot. So Anders started with Modular 1 year ago. He has many projects, releasing an EP together with songs from Tin Pan Alley that I think just came out like yesterday. He's working on on another album with Tobias Karlhag, who just played 2 weeks ago for the Synth Summit. You may have caught that SoCal Synth Summit, SoCal in Colorado. That's going to be released this fall. He's made music his whole life, and he started getting interested in electronic and ambient music just a couple years ago with a couple of Electron machines. He started sharing music on Instagram on Jan 1, 2019 with the January challenge, the hashtag, and he never stopped after that. About a year ago, he sold everything and dove into modular. Gee, I can relate to that. All right. So, and he's released a single for Mystery Circles and a remix for Noise Trees. My friends, here is Per Barfot. Anders, thanks so much for that gift.
Yeah,
It's
thank
like a
you so
musical
much for
gift, you know?
yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So nice.
It's really an honor.
Well, the honor's ours. So you're joining us all the way from Sweden,
That's right. Yeah.
which is where my mother's from, incidentally. I think we talked about that.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So, man, I mean, I think that one of the resounding themes going through chat and also in my mind hearing this stuff and a constant challenge for me making music is the restraint and the patience which you're going through doing something like this. Like, how do you
Yeah.
it like in the halfway-ish part, it just like dissolves into these just like we're barely hearing anything. And I have such a tendency to pack every moment and really just keep it going. And like, how do you like help us learn this kind of restraint and patience, please?
Yeah. That's a good good question. It's kind of funny. I had a little bit of a reference song that doesn't sound anything like the track I made, but I was kind of thinking of what's it called? I Would Do Anything for Love with Meatloaf. And
I
that's the song
knew
which
I
kind
knew
of,
this was based on that song. I could hear
it
it.
kind of goes, very sparse, scarce and low, and then it becomes intense, and it goes down and up.
Right. There's a lot of dynamics in Meatloaf's
It's a lot
catalog.
of dynamic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I've always been, or I've been drawn a lot to this minimalistic kind of sounds, and usually asking myself, like, can I take something away from what I just made? And usually I can. And usually it sounds better if something comes away. You listen in a different way.
Yeah.
You hear different things.
So if my takeaway here is like, can I take something away? That is such a great. I mean, I should write that on top of my system, because that's a perfect mentality, right? At any time, is there something I could take away? God, it's just wise.
Yeah, that's.
I'm actually like,
I
think I'm thinking the opposite most of the time. Like, what can I add? What is this missing? Right. That's the difference is, like, what is this missing, right, which I can dream up and add that'll make this better, instead of what can I take away?
That's right. And I think in this case, it helped a lot that I had like 15 minutes. So I could spend some time taking a lot of things away. And at the same time, some parts I could bring it all together, or bring more parts together.
I do like the structure of like deconstructing and then kind of, coming up a little bit. Like, I do that. But man, you've just nailed that whole mentality. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you.
And I noticed you had the original teletype V1 on the left there, the version which takes paper, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you can actually hear it in the beginning, and I think in the end also. It's like sampled through a microcassette recorder into the Morphogene. And that's the found sounds from that typewriter. Yeah.
H. Anton Real asks another question. If I take something away, does it fundamentally change the sound? Right. That's the trick too, is like, do you want to take it in a whole other area, or are you just cool with it kind of slowly evolving to another place? That's probably one of my fears too, is I love all the parts I've stacked in there. I don't want to take it away and ruin the improvisation. Yeah,
I have to kill your darling sometimes.
Right, exactly. because we fall in love with all these little things that we just made. So on that note, you're saying that you started in modular 1 year ago.
Yeah, 1 year and maybe 3 months. Or
Jesus.
Yeah.
So would you say you found the main like expression here that you're, I mean, this is your instrument, right?
Yeah. I mean, I now when I listen back at this, I kind of felt, yeah, I liked at least most of it. I felt it was all right. But now since that time, I recorded this one in February, I think. So I've since sold a number of modules, so I couldn't do it all again, unfortunately. But I like the sound. I especially like the, including the tape loops that I had in the middle part.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this mangling of the sounds from Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That comes on and off. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still not like happy with my sound. I think I'm constantly evolving, and that's. I mean, you can see that from my Instagram. Yeah, like you said, I've posted quite regularly the last. Is it 2.5 years or 3.5? I'm forgetting. 2.5, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that it's been changing so much, and it will probably still keep changing.
See, social media and YouTube channel, and I see Patrick O'Brien in the chat. I'm going to quote you, man, because you've done this. I think it is important to post as much as you can for your own archiving of what you've done.
Yeah.
That's even right. Just for that, like Patrick, when he started his modular journey, he built this, YouTube channel. He's going to post all the time as much as he can. And I've definitely tried doing that too, just because it's cool to look back on what you've done and see your progression and see all these modules you've sold. And now you're kind of thinking differently. It's really important part of legacy, I think. Yeah,
that's right.
Speaking of legacy, tell us about this new EP, this Tin Pan.
Yeah. That's so fun because even though I've been posting a lot on Instagram, I've never really actually made proper finished songs. But now hopefully this year I will be able to break that bad habit. So the first one is this EP that I made together with songs from Tin Pan Alley, and
so
it's actually
cool.
Releasing today on Bandcamp.
So great.
So it's it was really fun to work also together with another artist. We're not in the same location. He's in Denmark, I'm in Sweden. But we really found each other during that process.
That's so nice. I had never heard of him until you're talking about Karlahag, right?
He's the one I'm doing an album with.
That's
later.
the new project. Sorry.
That's a new project. Yeah.
Right.
Project.
So who is the one who you collaborated with?
It's Per Hansen from Denmark, who is making music under songs from Tin Pan Alley on Instagram.
Got it. Well, I've got all your links down below, and I'm just so glad that you're releasing. I think that analysis paralysis of, and we see this on Instagram a lot where, a lot of, I just want to just push and encourage anybody to just release.
Yeah.
Absolutely get it off.
It feels good.
It feels good, and it's super important. Music dying on hard drives. You all have heard me go on about this. Really special. I'm just so glad to have you on, man. So happy to have you.
Yeah, it feels really good. And maybe if I get to plug one more thing.
Please.
Is that since 12 weeks now, I've been curating this playlist on Spotify called Instagrambient, where I feature artists from the Instagram ambient community. and I'm trying to, really have high quality of songs.
That's great.
And at the same time, really lifting up and sharing the music, because there are so many amazing artists making music on Instagram, but so few that are actually listening on like Spotify and such.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's for
Instagrambient.
Instagrambient on Spotify.
Yes, Spotify.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, what a great idea. Okay, all of your links are below minus the Instagrambient. I apologize. I didn't know about that one. But
I didn't tell you.
That is awesome. Okay, off you go, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's be in touch, my friends.
All right.
Per Barfot. Wow. That is a good reminder to bring up another Spotify playlist. And this was created by Rob Dixon, aka Ep16 from Wales. You might know him from his awesome show Modulate. And around the anniversary show time, he hit me up and said, hey, let's make a playlist for all of the artists playing on the anniversary show on Spotify, those who are on Spotify. And so he opened it up and we all added tracks, and it's on Spotify. It's called Modular World. And he did lock it now. So if you missed that and you played on the anniversary show and you have tracks on Spotify, hit up Etch-a-Sketch. You all know him. Great guy. And he took that on himself and did that for us. So if you're a Spotify listener, there is a playlist called Modular World. Thanks. Thanks, community, for doing stuff. Which actually, man, I didn't plan that, but that's a perfect segue. Okay. Community doing stuff. Here we go. I want to talk about, so I touched on this earlier in the show, and I'm going to just give you a little bit more of a build out on that. So, as most of you know, I started Patreon, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I began the YouTube channel membership. And what I saw happen during the anniversary show was just like humbling. And, I've thought about this show and the sustainability of it, as like, I love this show. I never want to stop doing it. Passion project, taking up the time of a full-time job. What is the sustainability of a project like that? In the back of my mind, also thinking, I can't ever stop this because I love it so much. And now it's begun, and, I've created a monster. And then I see the support and love during the anniversary show and on Patreon. So channel members on YouTube and on Patreon. And I'm just like, so basically I need to step this project up, because now it's like, it's not a passion project. Well, I mean, it's always going to be a passion project, but now the community has spoken and like really wants to support this. So I accept, and thank you. And accept the challenge to grow this even bigger. So I've listened to the community and I've done a few things. One of them is, drum roll please, I did start a Discord channel. And, I had said from the beginning, when people were saying start a Discord channel for Modular World, it's like, you know what, the eurorack community or the modular community doesn't need another Discord channel. But I created one because a lot of people asked, but also because I really want to create something different, create something special. So it's begun. It is live. Launched it this past week with the help of 2 people who have got to be mentioned. Sorry, I know you don't want me to do this. So the first is Alex Labette. So you might know him as Oski Digi. He's actually in the chat. I saw him earlier. What a great guy. SoCal Synth Society local brother here. And he's one of these like just tech wizards who understood my goofy ideas and questions and settings and permissions. gave so much time to setting it up these past 2 weeks. Alex, I'm forever indebted. Thank you so much. And the other, I'm sure you're not surprised, is our brother Itai, who is, his overall guidance and just vision for this show is something that you see everywhere and you don't realize. The logos, the layout, helping me understand script and how to present, and it's just such a great partner in this. Thank you, Itai, for all of your hard work. Oh my God. Okay. So there's a Discord channel, and special stuff is going to happen there. Special stuff has already started happening there, but it's going to go on. All right. So one of the things that I'm doing as this show grows is I'm trying to create more events than the monthly show. This show right here, this is the main thing, which is Modular World. I get that. It's not going to stop. And like I said, I'm booked until into January now. But what I want to create is for the third level of Patreon and YouTube channel members. And I think I'm going to call it a spotlight series. And you saw me litmus test this a little bit on Instagram just before the anniversary show, where I had like one-on-one interviews, like podcast style interviews with one artist or one manufacturer. So the first of the spotlight series is going to be recorded with the third tier channel members as part of the audience in about a week and a half. And we are going to feature Snakes of Russia. So Joe Holiday is going to give us a special performance and Q&A, and then that's going to be released on the channel as a premiere. And we got a few other tricks up our sleeves too with special events that I'm going to roll out regularly. So it's going to be awesome. I'd love to hear ideas, and Discord is the place. I've got the integration set up with Patreon and with YouTube channel members. So channel members have exclusive channels there, but it is public. It's a public server here for everybody. Really excited about that. Last housekeeping note, and then we'll get back to the show. Thanks for your patience. Is I put a poll on the community tab on this page, and I'm trying to figure out whether I want to shift the show to Sundays, because I think that I don't even remember pre-pandemic, honestly, like what was my life, but I think that Saturdays used to be like errands and outings and things that were Saturdays were a little harder and Sundays were maybe a little more chill. I honestly forget. But so there's a poll there. Do you want this show to continue on Saturdays, or do you want to do it on Sundays? You don't need to flood the chat with your answers right now, because I can't keep up and read it. But if you want to talk about it on Discord, please do, or do that poll, which is on YouTube. All right. Lastly, no, I already said lastly, damn it. If you would like to support this show, please consider doing it on Patreon, and the links are all below. Or if you're not a Patreon person, fair enough, you can click the join button that's just right below me, and you can do it on YouTube. It's the same thing, the same tiers. Again, thank you for considering supporting this very independent channel. Okay, thanks for listening to all that yabber, but it's important housekeeping stuff. All right. We are going to move on to Jonas Schroeder, who performs as Metajon, coming to us from Germany. Oh, this location just kills me. I'm just so jealous. He found the perfect location. Okay. So Jonas has made music since he was a kid, and his first synth was a Roland MC09 Phrase Lab. He played in bands for a little bit more than a year. He sold all of his Electron gear, a Novation Peak, and a Vermona Performer to get seriously into modular. That sounds like what we just heard with Anders. He's built some eurorack modules, and he has a prototype synth laying around waiting to get finished. This is so awesome. Are you ready? Here is Metajon coming to us from Germany. Jonas, welcome.
Hey.
Jeez, like, where do you start? The Nimasan said Plaid and Isan making a baby, and this is going to be the result. That is such a nice compliment. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like, I mean, first off, the location. This is what modular on the spot looks like, my friends. Wow. Absolutely brilliant. Just, yeah, I could listen to that all day. Selling your Electron stuff was definitely a smart move if this is what it created.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. So can you talk us through some of the mentality to build something like this out?
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
And I always start with the piano things
Mm.
because when I program such drum glitchy stuff, it's quite hard to listen to it about 1 hour.
Yeah.
And that's why I always start with some melodies like these piano chords and then record it in the ER301 and slice them. And then I build those glitchy bass drums and stuff around it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just build it and perform it and record it.
It's simple. It's really just simple stuff, you know? Sure.
Yeah.
There's not much to say, really. It's just super simple. Yeah.
But on that patch, it wasn't that easy because I started, I think, 5 times to build up a patch. And then I always unpatch it because, no, it's not good, or I don't have the feeling for that what I want to say with the patch, or I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But after I think the 4th or the 5th patch, then it worked. Yes.
I couldn't see from the angle what sequencer are you using, like, if any?
Yeah, the nerd sequencer.
Oh, was it in there? I didn't see it. Okay.
It's the black one.
Yeah.
It's right from the ER301.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that.
The nerd
Lame.
sequencer and the teletype.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the teletype is only sequencing the just friends. What you're hearing at the end, these soy melody thing at the end is the teletype. Yes. And the other stuff, with the ER301, and also I sequenced internal in the ER301 some drum glitch stuff through the clock from the nerd sack.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you were to take this out and play it out live, are you bringing both of those cases, or would you try to mix it down to the one?
Yeah, sometimes I really often redesign my synthesizer, so unscrew all of all of the modules and then put them back. But I always end up to really use everything what I have. So I love to, or I say it's the perfect size for me for that kind of music I make.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have a little case, I always have the feeling that something is missing, because then I think, cool, I want to do that, but everything is filled.
That's the struggle. Yeah, I mean, my happy place for playing out is 7U, but it's a struggle trying to make it all happen. But then once you make it happen, there's this kind of, then it kind of becomes the instrument, again. Whereas I feel like when I've got everything, and this is just me, but when I've got everything, I can't. It's less of an instrument. It's more of like a wall of choices. And if I treat it like an instrument, then I can perform on it differently, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also a challenge to realize the things with only 3 or 4 modules.
Right.
Then you learn the modules much more.
Totally.
Yeah.
Although, you know, with your 301, I mean, you
Yeah.
could achieve a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
That's really the main of all of my music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use it as a mixer because they're the high pass filters. That's really great because of then you can really mix it really great.
Yeah.
So,
and with all the modulation from Teletype and with NerdSec, you've got a lot of power there.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the I2C expander from the NerdSec because then it's really nice.
Yeah.
So you have then you can put all the triggers from the NerdSec through I2C into the through one
with no cables. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the more inputs from the ES301 that you can use for audio or what else, controllers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some really powerful stuff. And I mean, it sounds like it. It sounds very like just really intelligently made. You know.
Yeah.
It's really deep. So, what's your plans for releasing stuff like this, like long form?
I have an album that I recorded last summer, but I'm not finished with the mixing and mastering process. But
Damn it.
I think I will release it the next weeks. It's more an ambient experimental thing. And yeah, now I decided to make an EP or something like that with that kind of glitch music and find out how far I can go until it's not no music anymore, but yeah, to test out how far you can go with all these delay things.
It's kind of it's a fine line because you can get a big wall of stuff going on, and I've definitely done it where I had such a wall of effects that it just became a mess.
Yeah.
Or it was such a mess that was so unique, and there was so much like dynamics in it. So it's kind of this thing that's kind of, it can easily get muddy, but it can also in that same moment be, you know, muddily awesome. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I really like the dense sounds.
Yeah.
So much information in. So, but it's also nice when you came back to a point where it's only 2 or 3 sounds and you have a lot of space.
Yeah.
It's also really important, the space.
Yeah, I mean, same with Anders before you. You both have this like ability to like have a lot and then strip it down, and yeah, the deconstruction is brilliant. Thanks so much. God.
Yeah.
Whew. When you do release that, you've got to let me know so that we can talk about it on the show and play some of it, and make sure that I know like when you do that.
Yeah, cool. Of course, I will do.
Yeah, that's going to be special.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Jonas, thanks so much for joining us. This was great. And I know I kept you up late in Germany, but thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's stay in touch, and off you go.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Have
man.
All
right.
Show.
My friends. Metajon.
Ciao.
There he goes. Wow, that's so special. And speaking of I2C, Surging Mass, I'm going to call you right out on the show. Send me that cable, man. I need it. Or maybe you did, and I frankly haven't been out to check my mail. So possible you sent it. Oh man. All right. So yeah, we're gonna move on. There's just something really exciting coming up next. I'm so excited about this part. I need to thank some channel members that have just signed up, and also Patreon. Jan Levot, thank you for becoming a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much, man. And Patreon is also going off, so I just want to mention Trio BM, who we all know as Ice Locust. Thank you so much. Patrick O'Brien, thank you again, sir. And Parasilic, thanks so much for joining. Just as a reminder, second and third tier patrons get audio downloads of the whole show. The whole show. And previous shows. Like the anniversary show. Unbelievable. You can download the audio from that whole thing. It's crazy. It's like 14 gigs or something. It's just like insane. All right. This next... so let me just fly them into Zoom while I'm going to just introduce them a little bit here. This is such a special feature today. So, you have probably heard of Gelatonin and Sleep of Eons. They come from Tucson, and they are Angelica Lopez and Jorge Bojorquez. So Tucson, all right, guys. So they've created a new show called InnerFrq with a Q, all right? And this is a new YouTube podcast. I don't know. Podcast is like audio, so we're going to call it a video cast. All right. And so they're having interviews with musicians and artists, makers, creators, working in AV, art, modular synthesis, analog digital media, creative coding, DIY electronics, and more. This grew from an in-person meetup, and they're going to continue those events, but this is a brand new channel. I mean, it's brand new. So like today, after the show, don't do it right now, but after the show, please go to their YouTube channel. It's linked below. Subscribe, be part of this as it's growing and has been given birth to. Yeah, I just said that. Okay. They're both relatively new to modular and video synthesis, and a big part of their focus is to encourage fellow newbies. And man, I love you for that. I stand for that. So a little background on both. All right. So Angelica Lopez, her main focus before the pandemic was creating live visuals for musicians using patches she created in Max MSP. During the shutdown and isolation, she's been exploring and working with Unreal Engine. It's amazing. And shifted her focus to creating 3D landscapes that incorporate visual materials made in Max MSP. Jorge performs as Sleep of Eons. You've probably heard his music on Instagram and seen him around. He's a modular synthesist and AV artist. His work is an ongoing exploration of sound design, sample manipulation, and generative improvised modular music. The visuals for the project are a blend of oscillographics powered by the modular, analog video feedback and glitch techniques, and creative live coding languages like processing, P5.js, and Hydra. I just love these two. I love you guys. Here you come. All right. Let's fly them in. All right. They're here. This is InnerFrq. What's up, you guys? Nope. I didn't do it right. God, I fucking cocked it up. Hold on. What did I do? Audio output capture. Stay with me, everybody. Nothing changed. It was the same scene in OBS.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Okay, looks like we were muted somehow.
You were muted. Awesome.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
How did I cock it up? Oh, it's great to see you guys.
Yeah, nice to see your picture right there. We're not on the YouTube, so we just see your picture.
You just see my gross eraser head. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, like we said, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Yeah, my name's Angelica, and this is Jorge.
Hi, nice to meet everyone, and thanks for having us, Jono. Thanks for taking the time, letting us get on here and talk about what we're doing. And
well, I think it's important,
Thank you. Thank you. We've been huge fans of everything you've been doing here ever since we've seen you last year start with everything, and just appreciate so much what you're doing for the community. Like, that's just like, the main vibe that we've gotten ever since we've been involved, and just everyone being so, involved with each other and the support. It's crazy. So we're just really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we definitely admire your work ethic as well.
Well, thanks. And I mean, mine, yours. I mean, we've talked about, and it's like talking about openness and inclusivity is what we do and makes us feel good, but it's actually like, doing it, which I think is the difference. And you guys are bringing that spirit, and you're going to do it, and you are doing it. I want to really see your channel grow and do stuff,
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a challenge doing this for the first time, but I think we're getting our podcast legs here, so.
No doubt, no doubt. We're learning the hard way, which is the best way, so that's great.
Well, and I think we talked about this, but we may not have, was that, people who are starting channels, I would say this to anybody, was like, if you want to do something, to not wait for the better camera or the better lights or I can't do it, it's going to look ghetto, it's going to this and that. It's like, man, you've just got to start. And it's like easy to say when you don't want to, come off not looking awesome, but
absolutely,
like it's just starting, because
you're totally right.
Yeah. Cause then you've started, then you've begun.
And honestly, I think it's really cool when you follow someone and you see over the a long period of time that they actually change their vibe, and they get that better gear eventually, little by little. Right.
Yeah. And genuine artistry and output, is going to resonate. People are going to like what you're doing, and they're going to build it, and they will come. I mean, it's just...
We hope so. We're trying to make ghetto our that's kind of our vibe. That's our bread and butter, and roll with it, right? Because like ghetto gets stuff done a lot of the time, right? So, we appreciate that, and we dig that you appreciate our vibe as well. Because right now, getting everything set up, it's all learning experience, and I think that can be a big fear sometimes, especially for a lot of fellow musicians and fellow artists who maybe want to get out there on YouTube or want to get on Instagram and post themselves, but don't know what to share or feel like nervous about the gear they have, the camera,
or
the
even
lighting.
Just talking. I mean, we're not used to interviewing people, and that's the main focus of our podcast is interviewing artists and AV artists, musicians, just video artists and stuff. And it's kind of a challenge also, just getting used to asking people questions and not stumbling over your words, not saying too much.
The
Yeah, the dreaded that happens a lot. Yeah.
Or I've noticed I blink a lot, which I'm trying to not do.
Yeah, you start to analyze yourself a lot as you're on there, but
it's
been
true.
Really cool.
It's true, and it's a choice to bring your face and do this. Like I see YouTubers, I see younger people doing this, and they look great. They've got a real personality and they're awesome. And it's like, I'm choosing to bring this face online. This is a choice. No one's making me do this. Like, wow, really?
No, totally. Yeah. We want to make sure that we expose ourselves, because we didn't want to be in hiding. That's the whole thing why we started InnerFrq in the beginning, was because we were tired of being, we're both musicians and artists, and we were tired of being at home, just kind of jamming by ourselves every now and then, going out to see shows, but not really having a community. At least here in Tucson, it's a growing scene still, and it's getting a lot better. But we wanted to connect with people, so that was the whole reason doing the in-person meetups. Was like, let's get in each other's face, and
But now, one thing which has been a real part of your whole mission and process, and I think, both of you really love it, is the DIY aspect.
Yeah,
so how do you think you're going to do that on the show? Like, what's your goals for that?
So while we do the interviews, at some point we'll get around to being like, do you do any sort of DIY with your gear or any other things surrounding their art? But aside from that, Jorge and I will each have our own shows. And mine is going to focus on, I do a lot of hands-on DIY projects and stuff. So mine's going to focus on me going through those projects. I already recorded one episode that I have to go through where I build, a little DIY eurorack case. So stuff like that for my end.
For sure. And for me, exactly, I'm going to be doing similar things like that. Since I'm focusing more on my eurorack system and developing my series on our YouTube channel, aside from the podcast, it's going to be things like doing small demos of modules and things like that, but also doing DIY little solder, build along videos, and also just trying out different DIY modules, because that's a big thing that helped me get into it, because I was super broke. You know, I'm sure for a lot of people out there, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it because, you know, it gels with some people it doesn't. And for me, it was, I still like it, but it's definitely still a struggle, not gonna lie. So as much as I push DIY, you know, building eurorack modules is always still like a challenge, but I like it. And having the finished product in the end helped me build out my case, get more instruments going in there, and learn a heck of a lot about electronics and stuff. So just want to encourage people who maybe you've tried it once, maybe try it again, but, you know, it's not for everyone, of course, but, you know, just encourage the exploration of the DIY.
And also that we're here to hopefully answer as many questions as we can. So we want to just make people not afraid to try these things and not afraid to ask questions and to not feel like they have to know everything.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the DIY community, just like modular community, is like, you're dying to share the knowledge and help. And it's just like, because you know it's super hard. You know, and it's like, true. Check it out, try this, or do it like, you know,
No, it's true. And I remember a lot of people seeing when we first started doing DIY, things like just breadboarding things. We started with guitar pedals and guitar effects and making a lot of delays with these little PT2399 chips that are common in all kinds of pedals. And we burnt so many of them trying to make breadboarded delays. But it was fun, you know, add a little light resistor and like do all kinds of wacky stuff. And it was like learning, like, you know, like it was like being a kid all over again, learning that stuff. So yeah, that joy, I think, is what we really want to, you know, try to connect with people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
People asking about what the project is called. And just as a reminder, all the links for all the artists and the people on the show today, including our special guest, is all below. So it's called InnerFrq. It's a brand new YouTube channel. And it's linked below. Please, after this show, go and subscribe to what Angelica and Jorge are doing. One thing that we had written down to talk about that I think is so good is to spread info to the community, especially with people with minimal access to tech and gear. Talk to us about some of that passion, because that's awesome.
Well, like we said, we used to do the in-person meets, and, you know, since COVID happened, that's kind of slowed down. We want to eventually, we're trying to work out how we can physically maybe be there for people, or something besides just doing videos. We want to, I don't know, we're trying to figure out something, how we can connect with the actual like in-person community.
Yeah, we have a couple ideas going, and a couple of them that are going to come to fruition, but we don't give like too many details yet. But one of the things, for example, that we've been talking about that I'm going to be doing for the kind of eurorack modular side is we've actually been doing, we're going to do a thing through the InnerFrq Instagram account, where we'll be offering essentially for people here, especially in Arizona and specifically Tucson, just because we want to grow it from local outward, you know, and then get as much spread, but start locally here in our community where we feel we can make the most change first. And basically it'll be like, we want to do one-on-one kind of video call or video conference stuff with our eurorack. So we'll have our eurorack set up and be able to have basically a one-on-one little mini lesson with people for free. They'll just be able to like DM us, give us your info. We'll set up a quick little call, and like, we'll do stuff local here. You can ask us anything about synthesis, anything that we know about synthesis, anything about eurorack, anything about that kind of stuff, or glitch art, video feedback, things like that. And so that's one of the ways that we want to do something where it's like, you know, you don't need to pay. It's no access. There's a lot of great paid resources out there for everyone, and we're like grateful for those. But, you know, just for someone who's broke, maybe someone younger, maybe someone who's older, doesn't have the funds and still wants the access, you know, and we need that one-on-one instruction. That's something that we'll be doing soon, but we'll have more details about the logistics of that soon. But yeah, that's one idea that we have going.
Yeah, I definitely want to maybe do some build workshops, maybe for some like simple video mixers or something. I did just get a 3D printer, so I'm going to see if maybe I can make some cheap enclosures, possibly. Maybe even do a workshop on 3D printing even.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool resources out there, so we just want to make that available. Lastly, like, we both got into the audiovisual side of our music and presenting everything on our YouTube channel through things like Pure Data, which then led us to Max MSP, but also other free things like processing and P5JS and free coding languages and things like that allowed us to create visuals and whatnot. And those are free resources that, again, are available online, but you need to spread the word because, it's hard to know how to install that stuff, how to get it going.
Yeah,
so
right.
we're trying to spread more information about that to,
And we haven't dived too deep into all of these programs. The thing is that we have gone enough into them to be able to set them up, to be able to explore them. So we want to just be able to present them to people who might want to go deeper.
Yeah. We're definitely not pros.
But it's the whole thing about like learning, like with each other. That's what we're all doing,
Exactly, and just spread the knowledge. I mean, like, we've been really grateful here in Tucson to be close enough to the Phoenix synth community. And that community up there in Phoenix is really blossoming, has a lot of cool people, amazing friendships we've made. And again, that inviting learning environment, that openness has really helped us like be part of it and encouraged us,
You guys, there's somebody in Phoenix who's Austin Smith says, I'm in Phoenix and I do visuals.
Oh,
I like that.
Well, drop your Instagram handle or hit us up on InnerFrq or Gelatonin or Sleep of Eons on Instagram.
We love to connect. There's a big community in Phoenix, actually. In 2019, there was a big event in Phoenix called VidicCon, which is like essentially a big synth fest for video artists. Giant installation walls, lasers, multi-day talks about video synthesis and incorporating audio visuals,
modular video gear and stuff.
LZX stuff, really cool, and that was a great event. So there's a huge community in Phoenix. If you're out there, man, check that out. Like, there's still a few people like working on that out there. So yeah.
That person who I mentioned, Austin Smith. Now it's all like coming together now. I was talking with him last night on the Discord, on the Modular World Discord, and he's on that channel as Data, just Data, D-A-T-A.
Okay, awesome.
Okay,
Hop on there,
rad.
link up on there. Yeah, I like
Totally.
that. Yeah, really dig the Discord too. I think that's really rad. Like,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I really want to make it something special. Speaking of Data and Phoenix, we've just got a great tie-in here. Data Cult Audio, we all know Adam Filipowski from Phoenix. And Angelica, you do all the visuals for his Instagram promos.
I help out. Yeah, I help out with those visuals.
She's so humble.
Unfortunately,
a little bit.
I had to skip my
Come
first
on.
video in like over a year last night because I had some technical difficulties. But
And I know you made all the dope graphics that are behind you.
I made I made all these in Unreal Engine, and then I have some Max MSP materials on the TV and whatnot, and that's a picture of my Plonk in the background. I have my Nord A1 somewhere.
oh
You
yeah,
guys are
there
rad.
it is on the horizon.
It's like way out there, but yeah, I made this in Unreal and Max.
All right. After this show, I want to see your subscribers like double.
That'd be rad.
Okay,
I do want
everybody,
to
please.
mention one more thing. We have a couple of. I just want to mention our interviews that we have coming up.
Please
we
do.
interviewed
Please do.
an
Yeah.
amazing video artist, Natalia Rocafuerte. She is going to be this coming Friday. We're going to have her interview up on our YouTube. And then we have, after that, Adam, actually, from Data Cult. We had a nice long talk with him, and it was super fun to,
Such a
to
great
hang
guy.
out and chill.
Yeah. Shout out to them. They helped us so much. We met them at that VidicCon Fest, and they helped put us on, and have been so supportive and stuff and everything. So shout out to Adam, man. Like, much love to them. They give them that
Definitely.
podcast to listen. Like, they have been doing it for years and making putting out really awesome music by awesome artists. So
Yeah, and then today we just finished our interview with Marianne Hedonia. So stay tuned. There's going to be that coming too.
I love Marie.
She is so awesome. We met her just for the first time at this interview, so it was super fun.
yeah, no doubt.
And her
no doubt,
story's
yeah.
great too, how she's shot up. And she is just killing it.
Yeah,
I've had her on the
absolutely.
show a few times. We met at Frequency Shift series, which Javarsi did. My God. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, amazing artist.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. And we were just like, we found them all through all you guys, everyone in the community, putting everyone out there, putting everyone on live shows and everything. Like, everyone's getting so much love. And it's funny because we were talking about it. How can everything be so great? It's so positive. Everyone's so hyped from in the chats and all that. And we're like, it just is. And like, we sound corny because we want to be like, it's not that. No, it is that good. And it is that. It is that fun and that hype and that stuff, again, like we said, is contagious,
It is contagious, and you guys are just going to lead by example again. It's great. Please keep doing it.
No, thank you.
God, I love you guys.
Plan on to.
Thank you so much.
You, man. No, I appreciate it.
Let's stay in touch, and thanks so much for coming on and talking about what you're doing. It's important work. Yep.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Off you go. We'll talk.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, you guys. All right. So that is what the show's about. Yes. Please, after this show's done, don't forget to go and subscribe to InnerFrq. It's down in the bottom. Their Instagram is there. The YouTube's there. Okay. On the tip of what's going on in the community, we're just going to do this right now. So, in chronological order, tonight, if you have more in you after this show, cheers, because it's still going on. Also linked below in the bottom, Seattle has modular nights tonight. And I'm sure you recognize some artists on this lineup, and that's great. You should go and support your friends, but you should also go and make new friends. If you see people who are on this list which you don't know, man, tonight's the night. So we're going to be done here in, 40 minutes or so. And you got plenty of time to make it over and watch that. Their Twitch channel is on the bottom in the description. Next, chronologically, you can do this, Jono. Come on. Next up, coming up this Thursday, June 10, my sister Travarsi and our dear brother and friend Corey Banks, B-Boy Tech, have Ken Flux and DeFraze on, and they're talking about the S2400, the new amazing sequencer drum machine thing from Isla Instruments. It's a great show. Talk about the gear, they dive into it, and then of course, I'm gonna say it, they jam. Okay. That was pretty corny, but I did it anyway. Okay. Lastly, but not leastly, June 18 and 19, which is 2 weekends from right now. This is probably rendering really bright on the screen. It's looking a little odd. But anyway, this is a great big event that Adam Filipowski and Tony Ober are producing with Paradise Valley Community College in Phoenix. Please look at this lineup and do not miss this show. It's amazing. Linked below, blah de blah. It's awesome. Okay, so there's lots going on this month, and it's just like quality stuff that our community's doing. Okay? Man, quality stuff. Let's talk about some quality stuff here. So, rounding out our show, what a great show this has been, man. Rounding out this show is Gudmundur Thor Fridolf. I was going to say it right. I even practiced it. Fridolfsson, who performs as ThorF. He was born in Reykjavik, Iceland. His first instrument was a guitar when he was about 11 years old. Age of 14, he got his first computer, and after that, focused solely on making electronic music. Began with a sample-based program, then got his first proper DAW. From then, went on to Reason around 2007. Still uses that. He's a licensed journeyman plumber, and former foreman for big commercial buildings. He moved to the States in 2010. And he's currently, his professional career is assistant camera for television. He works on all the Bachelor shows. Pretty cool. Under the name ThorF, he's released 36 tracks in 3 albums. And He has 2 other releases, both are which modular and recorded live with minimal editing. Man, this is just such a great set to end this show. My friends, here's ThorF. ThorF. God damn it, John. Oh, come on. You got this. This is ThorF. Thor, man, thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me on board.
What a great ending. I told you it'd be a great ending.
Yep, that's correct.
Great ending.
Thank you.
And
I
man,
love it. Thanks.
I love when
I
you're...
just wanted to... Sorry.
No, it's fine. We have a little bit of lag. I love when you're rocking it and I can see the cases moving up there. It makes me a little nervous, but it's awesome.
It's not the most ideal situation with that gear on top there, I know.
Well, I mean, you have quite a cave there, and honestly, this is a perfect chance to underline one of the philosophies of this show and everybody I know. And we talk about it, and the regular viewers are going to roll their eyes, but new viewers need to hear this, that yes, this show is modular-centric, but this set is a perfect example of how, like, everything is cool here. Like, we got polysynths, we got a computer, we got drum machines, a wall of modular. Like, however you want to make music is welcome and celebrated on this show. This is a perfect set to demonstrate that. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for those nice words. I appreciate it.
Well, it's really important. I mean, this is about artistry and making music. It's beautiful, you know?
Thanks. I'm pretty proud of it.
Well, you should be. So when you're in a total gear cave like that, surrounded by modular and polysynths and DAW, how do you go about building something out like this? Like, there's a lot of choices that got made here.
Yeah, so in this particular case, I decided to, because I have a mutant brain in there that takes MIDI and turns it into, basically 4 channels of volts that I can track my oscillators with, and then 8 gates. So in the modular world, that means I can send the notes from the computer and track the oscillators and start and stop and sync everything. It's basically everything else, yeah.
And the polysynths, like, how are those wired in, like, with the mutant brain?
So they're a completely separate thing. The way I control them separately, it happens inside the DAW, basically. So currently, the studio is capable of controlling 16 channels of MIDI, right? So I have the polysynths stacked in a certain number that's coming from the computer. And I got to make sure that I have, because I'm a little bit limited on MIDI stuff, I got to make sure that I have space for what's happening in the mutant brain.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, mutant brain is powerful, yeah. What about the ES9? Have you ever tried playing with that?
No. They were, at the time when I got the mutant brain, I looked into them, but they weren't what I was looking for at the time.
And the mutant brain is such a great value, frankly.
It's one of my favorite modules, actually, and it doesn't make any sound whatsoever. Yeah,
it's like easy to configure, and yeah. Allert Alders makes a good point here that I want to touch on. He says purists are also welcome as long as they don't mind us not being purists. I would agree that pure modular is awesome, and ironically and interestingly, I do only modular, but it's only just because that's where I'm at right now in my journey. I played with VSTs for decades, and I love Cubase and all my virtual instruments. So at some point I might be mixing that too. But yeah, purists are welcome. Of course they are. And there are a lot of all modular sets here, and yeah, it's all welcome, man. Yeah. Everything, of course.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, I've been making music for a long time. I've been digital for the most part of it. My modular and hardware story only starts like 5 years ago, really. Yeah.
So what's the future? What's going on? What are you recording and releasing, and what's next? What's going on?
So I am just kind of digesting a lot right now. I mean, I bought this, I got a 4 terabyte drive before I started multi-tracking, and it was probably, I have a lot that I got to edit basically. So I'm thinking publishing is going to be modular, mostly kind of live as much as possible, and the least amount of editing as much as possible. Yeah, that's where I'm heading towards. Even though this poor performance had it all playing, but yeah, that's what I'm currently going towards.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of 2 tracks out and call it done. You know, you and I talked about that. I love hitting stop on the recorder when I'm done, and then it's done. Warts and all.
Yeah. That's one way. I that's how, you know, I used to just build computer or VST stuff, you know, program sequencers inside of a computer for the most part, and then you just hit record and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really just opposite mentality. Like, I thought I was going to do a lot of multi-tracking when I started in modular because I'm comfortable with that. But now I'm just not interested. Quick question from the chat. Patrick O'Brien, our brother POB, is asking, what hardware do you use to multi-track? I would assume you're going through Mutant Brain to sync into your DAW.
Yes. So that's how I sync everything. The modular with the tempo basically comes from the DAW, right? So when I multi-track, it's going through 2 Motu hardware interfaces. And it's the Motu 8ES and 16A. And I am multi-tracking these channels at 96 kilohertz, 24-bit, straight into the computer.
Nice. Man, I remember my first interface. This was a big fat card, and it was in an old Mac, and it was a Motu card. Mark of the Unicorn, man. That stuff has been out for decades.
Yeah,
decades.
That's where I ended up. I was Focusrite for the longest of times, and then I just wanted to shake it up and went Motu.
Yeah, man.
It's really,
it's
great stuff they have.
Yeah, it's like industry standard great stuff for decades.
Yeah, and their support is, you know, because they've been around for so long. So, let's say all the software that I need to run the audio cards, I get support through the internet just like that. I don't even have to upgrade the cards. It just happens automatically.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So those are both cards. They're not like rack mount, like interfaces.
Sorry. Yeah, I call them sound cards because I'm foreign. They are rack mounts.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, they're all analog in and out. And the way that Motu has it is that you can Ethernet the cards together. And then these also, like I have the option of going 48 channels optically on those cards if I want. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and the software is really smart around them, so I can route them. It's very easy to route them.
That's awesome.
And also, yeah.
So you're not going to be doing two track out of modular ever.
I doubt it, man.
He's like,
no. I may get rid of it. I may get rid of it all at some point. And who knows? I mean, it's a journey, right? And we're all in this modular journey together. That's what I love about it. And the community is so small and sharing and open.
Yeah.
Love it.
So let me ask you, with playing live, how would you handle that? Like, how much would you bring out? Like, would it be all modular or a little bit of hybrid, or how do you think you would do that?
I haven't even thought about that.
Well, you have to, because Modular on the Spot San Diego, we're going to get that going by August, and we're going to have you down.
Well, then I will leave the polysynths and all that stuff, probably. And go just, I mean, I sometimes don't even turn the computer on, and I turn it on to hear it, obviously, but I, just use the modular system by itself a lot.
Mm-hmm. But you've got a big setup. Like, I mean, you'd be traveling with like a smaller case, I'm assuming.
Yes, which I don't have. These are all handmade wood panels. That's how I started.
Mm-hmm. Well, start thinking about how you're going to do that, because, man, we got to have you down.
Yeah, Perfect Circuit is always out of stock with ThorF cases. So I'm going to hunt the next one down. If you guys are watching, yeah, I'm going to hunt it down.
What about the
I need a
IntelliGel
monster.
7U case?
Well,
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's right. I got to look into that. I was looking at the Make Noise with the CD rail on it.
Yeah.
But they're been out of stock forever too. I'll figure something out.
I'm a fan of the IntelliGel one because just because of all the 1U utilities which they make and now other companies make, and you can save space in your main, God, I can't speak. You can save space in your main rows by getting some good, useful utilities out of that 1U. Whereas the Make Noise case, I think that big mult in the middle is great. People like it, but it's not like you can put other 1U stuff in it. They've kind of made that choice for you.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's especially with when you're thinking about going on the road, you want to tidy it all up and trim it down as much as you can.
Yeah, that 1U space, I've got stuff up there that's like essential stuff that I need, that now I've freed up that space in the, in the regular 3U rows. That's a great case.
That's smart. I'm going to look into that.
This isn't an IntelliGel plug, I promise. They're not listening. They don't care what I say.
Oh yeah, no, they're so huge.
They're doing fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to stay in touch. I need you down here in San Diego. It's just 2 hours, 2.5 hours south from LA. So we got to have you down.
Please. It would be my honor. Please. Yes.
All right. My friends, ThorF. Here he goes. Thanks so much, man.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
All right. See, what a great ending. I knew it'd be awesome. Gerald Fjord says, boy, I am late. Brother, you are late. The show's done. We are finished. But that said, we are having an... I'm going to kick you from the Zoom, okay, man? All right, there he goes. We are having the first after party in the Discord channel. There's an after party Discord server, sorry. There's an after party channel in the Discord server, and we could do audio. We could also do video. I think I'm going to do video. We can all hang out and say hi. After party in the Discord channel for as long as we want to hang out. Okay. As a reminder, Patreon second tiers get downloads of the whole show and previous shows. And third tier are going to be part of an exclusive show that we're going to shoot next Sunday, which is a hangout and jam with Snakes of Russia. And that show will be pushed to a premiere on this channel in the next few weeks. Otherwise, the next shows are great. They're booked. It's happening. July is going to be awesome. Okay, and we're gonna close. Oh, let's just do the upcoming shows just really quickly once again, just to make sure that we got them. All right. Coming up in an hour and a half, starting on Twitch, Modular Seattle is doing their modular nights. All right. Just want to touch on these again, just because. This Thursday, Travarsi and B-Boy Tech are doing Gear Dive Jam. Awesome. All these links are below. Okay. And then coming up on the 18th and 19th is the Phoenix Synthesizer Festival. Look at that lineup. Oh my God. And most importantly, man, down on the bottom, here's the time to go to InnerFrq. You saw them earlier. We talked with Jorge and Angelica. And you can subscribe to their YouTube channel. I want to see their subscribers like double today. That'd be great. That's the goal. Okay? We're going to close out the show again with Warren Walker and his new album that was released like 3 days ago. It's a great record, and also linked below to his Bandcamp. All right. What a great show, man. Just huge outpouring of love to you and from you. Thanks. All right. I'm your host, John O. Wells, and this is Modular World. All right, here we go.